Yes, yes, yes. We're in the building. Can you, Rush? You there, brother? Rush is out to lunch right now, everybody. Or is it just me? Can everybody hear me? If y'all can hear us, give us some ones, some hearts, some thumbs, some likes in the chat, whatever it is. Just let us know that you're hearing us while we are going on. This is the areReal podcast in collaboration with the Labutu Network, where we're gonna have a real good conversation. It might not be a long conversation, but it definitely be a good conversation. And we're just waiting for our other brother, Mr. B, to forward in the building so we can get this party started. Rush, if you can hear me, I sent him, and I'm actually going to cam up. I know I'm not requiring everybody to cam up, but I'm going to cam up right now. Oh, snap. There you we
Yo,
cammed up at the
my
same
bad,
time. What's
man.
going on,
Yeah,
family?
what up, what up? I sent Mr. B the link already, so I'm just waiting on them to, I guess, come through.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool because I sent him the link as well. But yo, I'm interested to hear what he had to say. That's why I didn't want when we were on TikTok the other day. I didn't want him to throw out everything that may have been in his mind because I'm just like, bro, like I my whole thing on regarding the topic is just that like I don't see it work out too much, especially when people are dating per se. So it's just like I'm kind of I guess I can say I have my biases against it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yo, Mr. B, he's one of those people that like to ruffle the feathers, man. He enjoy doing that. So, he like that friction. But I mean, I
Yeah,
enjoy having those debates with him because, you know, uh, it's iron sharper iron. I mean, like
that's
we might
facts.
not agree on everything, but we learn from each other. You know what I mean?
No, that hey, that's facts. Like, I mean, even look at last night. Like, I didn't even know when you came in the chat, and I was trying to remember. I was like, "Yo, what is Jezebel's husband's name?" And you were like, "Bomb, kick Ahab." I was like, "Salute to that." I was like, "Yeah, man, like that was lit." Like, bro, like because I needed it that at that moment, and like, you know what I mean. So just the spirit and way the way that the conversation was going, I was like, all right, hey, give me 1 second. Pump anything in the channel that you got to pump. I'm just gonna go get the wifey in the house, and I'll be right back.
But yeah, man, I'm holding it down for comrade or whatever. So yeah, we're gonna expound on a few things. It might get a little spicy when Mr. B come through. You know what I mean? And just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show and all that. You heard? Yo, what up, Stan? What's good? What's good? You pulling up today, man? Nah, but yo, I'll send you the link. You want me to send you the link? Stan? I don't know. I don't know if Mr. B gonna pull up because he hasn't hit me back yet. I bet. Yeah, I guess he's taking some time to help out the wifey and all that. But we in the building. Waiting for everybody to come through. I mean, it's your boy Rush tapping in. I mean, I stand. I got you. Well, not me. This ain't my channel, but I just when Comrade come back, I mean, I'll pull you up. Yeah, I guess it's taking a little minute for them to come through. But we in the building or whatever, getting warmed up. Before we get into the real workout, you're show boy Rush in the building. I mean, shaking the bacon out here, you're yeah, it's taking a little minute, but so we'll pop off as every light come through. My man, it's your boy Rush, shaking the bacon out here, you're
You. Actually, whoops, wrong one.
yo.
yo, uh, yo, Rush, what were you listening?
Ooh, yo, what
What were
happened?
you listening to, fam? Yo, yo, I'm not, what was that going on in the back?
Hey, don't judge me, man. Don't judge me, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yo,
Yo, hey, I sent
broski.
Stan the link. I don't
Oh
know
my
if
gosh.
Mr. B gonna come through.
All right, that's soft. Either way, we don't worry. Like we gotta. If he ran into something, that's all right. You know what? Let's put the link in the chat and just throw it out one time, bro. Was that off your playlist, man? Please tell me that was like an intercom or somebody else in the
Nah,
background
nah,
that's trying.
nah. I always set up shop at my boy's restaurant, so they got
Okay,
the music.
okay,
Too.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? That makes sense
yeah.
now. That makes sense now. That's lit. That's lit. I was always wondering about that. I was like, yo, your basement setup looks fresh. And I'm like, I think he might be in a restaurant somewhere. But like, let me not, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, you like, we're not, we're trying to make sure that we're respectful. Yo, give me 1 second. I don't know what is going on with all my equipment. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. You got me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Oh, man. Whew. Well, we going this is gonna be a part one then. And yo, we're live on Twitch right now too. Yo, did you see are you streaming this to your page as well?
Nah, I didn't know I could.
Yeah. If you I mean, depending on what you want to do, if you want to drop out and then come back in,
Nah,
for
we'll,
the
we'll
link that
just we'll
cause
go. We'll go now. You know what I mean?
Uh, okay. All right. Cool. All right. But yeah, family. Yo. Okay. Let's run through this because we got Stan. Stan's coming up in the building not too long from now. Okay. Cool. Um. M3, what's going on, brother? Hope everything's all right. Salute to you, brother. Thank y'all for being here for this kind of impromptu conversation. So, to give y'all a little backdrop, I think it was what was it like Wednesday? Wednesday
Yeah,
of
yeah. It was
this
on
week?
Wednesday. Yeah, you talking about when we was live on TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was on a Wednesday.
All right, cool. Bet. All right, so Wednesday, we were sitting there and we were politicking. And by the time I came up in the conversation, I had kind of posed out a conversation because Mr. B was, he's basically, just relaying that, he's a trigger artist. He likes to shake, rattle, and roll and get people disheveled in what they're thinking. So I was like, all right, bet. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's not necessarily my flow because he was saying Mr. B was like he's trying to be like more like me and Rush, where we're more poised and calm and collected. And I was like, nah, you need somebody that can, like, you know what I mean, set the fire every once in a while and get it going. And so, we were kind of having just an impromptu conversation, and I threw it out. I was like, you know what I mean, since we talking as men, I'm like, I don't believe it's in a man's best interest, whether it could have been in the 1960s caveman times, now 3 years ago during the pandemic. I don't think it's in a man's best interest to be cohabitating with a woman that he's just dating. And so my definition of dating was specifically boyfriend girlfriend titles, and we dating, like, and we're not talking about like teenagers. But I mean, if you're a teenager between the age of 16 through 19 and you find yourself in this situation, I'll be honest, for the guys, this goes to you. This definitely applies to you. I don't think it's wise for the men's them to be lodging up with gal them. And so that was my whole point. Like, I just don't think it's wise, because when we sit there and we talk, and we, like, when I look at like all these TikToks and all these posts and things on social media, Rush, I'm like, yo, who are these people that randomly every single day, every month, they're just having some experience talking about, oh, I was paying for everything in the house and da 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 da. Or there's another post, you see it and it comes across and she's throwing out all his stuff. I'm like, what do you mean you're gonna throw all my stuff out of my house? So, like, I'm just looking at that as like, and most of these people, they're not like, when we see these reels and these posts, and if they're skits, cool, whatever. But if they're not skits and they're 100% real people all the time, then that bothers me, because I'm just like, dude, why are you, like, were you homeless? Like, I got questions out. You know what I mean? If you was homeless,
Yeah,
I could probably understand.
a lot of times those that's in that kind of predicament, can't um they can't be sufficient on their own. I mean, a lot of times they may link up with a female that's established, and they might be chiseled up, fresh out the, fresh out the fresh out the yard or whatever. They link up with Shorty, and Shorty be is the breadwinner within that relationship. Now, I never advise men to move in with a female. It's always good to have your own, because there's going to be a time where, because most females, they're governed by the emotions or whatever. So whatever she feels at that moment when she's upset with you, she gonna kick you out. Know what I mean? That's why it's important as a man to have your own and be well established on your own. Don't rely on a female to you know handle things for you in that degree, like getting a place to stay, copping a vehicle, or anything like that. Like, you got to be good on your own. Because whenever shit hit the fan or whatever, pardon me for the profanity. Whenever things hit
Go
the
ahead.
fan
No,
or
we good.
whatever, yo, she gonna kick you out, fam. I see this all the time, man. And this ain't only with black chicks, man. This is all ethnic groups, man. White girls do it, Spanish chicks do it, all of that, man. A lot of
Facts.
times they may link up with a nigga that's a weak link because they know they have control of the relationship. So always remain sucker free, have your own, you know what I mean? And have your own bread, have your own crib, your whip, all of that, man. You know what I mean? So you can stand strong on your own, you heard? What up, Mustard? What's poppin'?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up? I love the
What's going
subject,
on?
man.
What's going on? I'm probably going to remain cam down for the remainder of the show, because I don't know what's going on in my section over here. It's like we got some tornado happening.
Oh, wow,
And
okay.
you see what I'm saying?
I wonder what was in my smile.
I'm
That
saying? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I did.
power.
Yeah, this guy smiled and then wrecked the whole shop. This guy smiled and wrecked the whole shop. I don't know what just happened. So I'm camming down for tonight, for right
Yeah,
now.
be safe and
I'm so
update
used
us.
to being on at 9 p.m. I'm sitting there saying tonight. And so, I'll probably do have to update my phone. I haven't checked this thing in the last probably couple weeks, month. I don't really care per se. So it's just like as long as everything works. But yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It doesn't matter. And say what up, Stan.
Hey, what's up,
As soon as
guys? Oh,
everything decides to want to click in, but then brother appreciate the building. So yeah, Rush. So Stan, what we're talking about is being up to speed. So last on
Your phone
Wednesday,
breaking up.
we
You breaking up like
Rush
crazy.
and Mr. B were on. Oh, jeez, hold on.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna have to submit a post to or some type of commentary to stream it because it's Saturday at 4 p.m. right? So like we got to remember we're live right here. We're at
Hello?
Yeah, yo, can you heard that robotic sound for off his mic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not me. Yeah. He's probably having like a bad connection.
Okay. All right. Okay, we'll hold it down till he gets back. What was the topic?
Yeah. We was talking about how it's important for a dude to have his own spot. It's never wise to move in with a female. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I heard your last part. Like, yeah, man, it's all races of women. It's like you're the stepchild.
yeah, yeah, man.
You're the step. I seen it. It's like you can't go
It's
nowhere. Go straight home.
man, it
All your
sucks.
money's gone. She got your car.
A lot of times that would happen, right? Like you pay all the bills in the crib, but because your name is not on that lease, she could kick you out anytime, man. So it's not wise. That's why I tell dudes it's not wise to move in with a chick like that, man. Know what I mean? Especially when you paying all the bills like that, man. That's stupid, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and nothing's under your name, so you don't even have ownership. But the flip side about it, right? If she moves in with you and you guys get into an argument, she could have you kicked out and you still got to pay.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. That's why
and
it's always
that
good to have yo salute to you, Christopher. That's why it's always good to have your own. Don't let like see me in my house, man. Like they be trying. I be like, nah, you gotta get out, nigga. You ain't living with me, nigga. You gotta get your own spot. They be
yeah, like
trying, man.
I have a trick that I do. I go ahead. My kid, she got a My Little Pony in my car, so they like, wait, you got a daughter? I'm like, mm-hmm. You can't stay here.
Yeah,
And I
that's a good
leave it on
excuse.
purpose so they
Yeah,
could see it. So they could
yeah.
see it. They like, oh, I'm like, yeah, like, don't ask any questions. I have a kid, so you can't. I'm not even gonna bring you to the house. Like, nah, you just no, no. I just make
Man,
sure they see that toy.
man, I'm telling
They
you,
get it.
man.
Like, don't ask me for money. I don't have money to give you. Um, I'm gonna eat, and I just want a company, and I'm only gonna pay for your meal. So we're gonna get this 2 for $28 at Applebee's, cause you hungry anyway. Don't complain.
Yo, for real. Man, I seen it, yo. I seen it all the time, man. You know, things go left, chick kick the dude out the curb, man. You know, so
But the
that's why.
thing about it, right? Like we all
Man,
seen it. We gotta explore the mindset of why men are still doing it. Cause you've seen it, right? We all seen it so many times, or we've seen our fathers done it, uncles, right?
right.
We've seen it. So why would you put yourself in that position when you've seen it so many times? And it's like it's never good. And especially like if you have probation or
You know
you
what?
know what I'm saying?
It's Stan. It's a survival tactic, man. You know, sometimes a dude, you know what I mean, like a dude will link up with a chick that got bread too. You know what I mean, find a place to live. You know what I mean?
If you find a chick with bread, make sure she go ahead and invest with you or invest into you. You don't find a chick with bread and then you gonna sit down and be her a pound puppy. Cause that's
Man,
all
yo,
you're there for, the
some of these
pound.
niggas out here be getting, yo, they be getting sunned out here, man. That I mean,
Oh,
by the
and you know
woman or
today's
whatever,
Saturday,
man.
right? Gentlemen, we know today's Saturday, right? Saturday and
Yeah,
Sunday
yeah.
happening right now in Foot Locker. He's
What?
there with his sugar mama, begging to buy some Jordans or some Nikes and asking her, can she get him one of these?
Yeah,
Already
I
told
seen that
her last
too.
time
I
he's
seen that too, man. When they buying you stuff like that,
Yo,
that means
can y'all hear me?
Oh
yeah, I
yeah,
can
yeah,
hear
that's
you.
a lot better.
Stan, when they buying them
Okay.
stuff like that,
I
man, you
don't know
putting
what
it
was
down,
going
man.
on.
You putting it down. Ah,
Yeah, that's why I call them pound puppies. They had the pound.
man.
Yo, but
Conrad, what's up?
okay, so I don't know how we got to pound puppies,
Oh
but
no, he'll tell me this.
yeah,
He'll
no,
tell
I'm
me
here.
this.
I'm
What
here.
was up?
I'm here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Conrad. What I
okay.
was
Okay,
saying
so you
was
brought
like they
Rush
had the
brought you up to
pound.
speed.
Oh, I just told him like a lot of these men, like we all seen it,
What's going
like we
on
all
right now,
grew up with
bro?
it.
Like I can't.
What's going on? We can hear you clearly.
What is No, I know you guys can hear me, but like it's just one thing after the next, bro. It's like my equipment be on some. The nighttime is the only right time. Bro, thing needs to chill out. Yo, I'm actually vexed right now, man. Because if I was talking beer foolishness and wanted to be a pandering Derek Jackson, I bet you all this equipment would work fine. I wanted to tell girls how to sell their soul and sell their body. No, the equipment wouldn't chip out at no time. But because we're trying to bring peace and wholesomeness and get these people to leave this foolishness alone, now all of a sudden the equipment wants to chip out. Yo, StreamYard, stop your demonic activities. Straight goods. That's a straight rebuke, yo. I know what you guys are dealing with, bro. Man, them are trying to bring some wholesome content. Have three wonderful looking brothers up here trying to give y'all the game, give y'all some knowledge. You want to chip out a brother's live stream. Stop the foolishness. Maybe you guys should stop letting OnlyFans workers use StreamYard. Maybe that.
Mm.
You guys irritate me to no ends.
I think the rebuke worked.
See, and it's tripping again.
We can see you and you talking
Yo,
like
you
it's
guys
working.
don't even understand.
Man, just
All right,
hey,
hold
we
on,
got
hold on,
another
hold on.
belt
I gotta
waiting.
drop something.
Okay.
No, hold on. I gotta drop something because something's just StreamYard's not gonna make me lose my soul today. Not today. All right. Let's all right, cool. Cool. All right. I think we're okay now. I think we're okay now. All right, cool. You gotta get with the program, brother. That's how it works. Yeah, so no, like my whole thing is this, right? So
Mhm.
the reason why I brought this up and what I was saying before StreamYard decided to want to cut me down, um, is just simply this. It's like, bro, what it doesn't make my opinion is it doesn't make sense for and I was prefacing young guys, but I'll just stretch it out to any man. If you use the word dating between you and a woman, y'all shouldn't be living together. Just like the title says, you have your place, I have mine. Right? So that means I get tired of you, I could go home. You get tired of me, you can go home. And guess what? You're not sleeping over here. Don't leave no undergarments here. Don't leave a toothbrush over here. No toothpaste, Q-tips, toilet paper, juice in the fridge. None of that. Like there's rules to this because I've seen more and this is again my opinion. Maybe this is just my anecdotal experience, but I've seen too much men that have done that end up suffering long term. Even if they, like Rush was saying, okay, you got out the bin, you got off the yard, you needed a place to stay, or you connected with this girl, pen pal, or whatever, and it wasn't, yeah, just straight. Thank you, 18. Don't even leave your scent, like straight goods. Sweet. Okay, we talking about the sinful world, but like, you know what the thing is? Oh snap! Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Somebody has a hand. Oh, it's Mr. B. Tell him to get his hand off the camera.
It's like, give me 1 second. I got you. I'm about to come. What's
Okay,
up,
we got
guys?
you.
My bad.
What's up,
So
Mr. B? Finally got the
pause.
house.
Pause.
You got her
He
out the
not.
house.
Man, y'all the ones got me up. Man. I thought it was 5. I'm like, man, y'all on a different time zone.
Yeah, yo. Yeah, I forgot to ask you what time zone you were in to make
Nah,
sure that we had everything coordinated, but that's all right. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. So,
Blessings to you, brother.
what,
So
guys? What y'all talking about?
the same thing that we left off on Wednesday. But you know what I mean? It does make sense for any brothers to be cohabitating, and any of the sisters too to be cohabitating with somebody that you're just merely as your quote unquote boyfriend or girlfriend. Well, I don't know. I mean, to me, that's just talking with that's like glitter. It's like glitter and glue. That's how I look at that whole scene right there. Boyfriend and girlfriend title. That's like glitter and glue. That's a one-way street to an argument. And that one argument is going to lead to say, like, I'm not even, what really triggered me is because I've seen all these videos for 1 week straight. I don't know what the algorithm was doing on my phone, but it kept showing me videos of man's them Jordans getting chopped up and the man's them clothes getting bleached and the man's them PlayStation getting thrown in the washing machine. The washing machine, G. Like, forget the fact that we are going to need to wash clothes after this. I get it. Let's say the man is 100% wrong. Okay, I'm not trying to make him be wrong and strong. But why you got to put the electronics in the biggest electronic that is responsible for washing everybody's clothes? Oh, salute, salute,
Yo,
salute. Hold on, hold
yo,
on, hold on,
a
hold
lot
on,
of
hold on.
time.
Hold on. I gotta give this queen her roses right now. Salute to you, Tiff. Thank you for being here. Salute to you, Mama. I hope you and the family is doing well and everything is in order and everything is okay. We just caught you the other day and followed you up. I think you're on Rumble as well. So we got, again, for the Real Reels platform, we got something coming next week. Not everybody's going to be a part of it, but for those who are, trust me, they'll know before the announcement goes out. So just keep tuned. Tiff, love you. Rush, what were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying a lot of times when females do that, break the PlayStation, cut up the Jordans, it's usually that they're the official breadwinner. You know what I mean? So when they're the breadwinner like that, they feel entitled over that dude that's living over the crib. So if the nigga get out of line and within her lens, she's gonna do crazy things like that because the dude either the dude is just he's in need for that like he can't survive without that female. So because she know this, she knows she could disrespect that nigga any kind of way. He's not gonna leave because he got nowhere else to go. I mean,
Okay, I'm gonna come back and challenge that nowhere else to go part. Mr. B, based on what you've heard so far, what do you got to say?
Man. So I think their initial question is, should men cohabitate with women that they're not, I guess, yet married to, essentially?
Whether it's common law and like we said on Wednesday's conversation, I'm gonna leave for the sake of where we're at in this conversation. It's not a matter of right now biblical or non-biblical. We just attacking it straight as it is. Does it make sense for men and women to cohabitate together when they're just boyfriend and girlfriend dating?
Yeah, I actually think I think you should, because, I mean, and I don't know place if it's a legit relationship, right? And that's due to the fact that there's a lot to learn about a person when you live with them, right? Um,
Okay.
outside, when we're doing our own thing, even just us going back and forth to each other's houses, that's a difference than actually living with someone and learning them. That's on a whole other personal self. Like, that's a personal level of, like, communication, love, and trust. And I think that's why a lot of people get messed up, because they get into these relationships and they never done that. They don't know nothing about the person. Like for me, I remember getting with my ex, and it was once we started living together that I found out she didn't fold clothes. You're like, that's something small, but you don't realize how frustrating that is. When the person doesn't fold clothes, and so when you come home and come in the bedroom, all the clothes are just there. It's not that they're dirty; they're just not folded. And it can start arguments, and it's just stuff like that that you would never be able to realize until you live with them.
Yeah, because you don't know what's clean and what's dirty.
Bro, my mind never understood like what was going on, but that's that was her stuff.
Conrad, I think you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Thank you for saying that, because I'm running two boards over here. So sometimes I can mute myself automatically without muting myself in StreamYard. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay. B, I can see what you're saying, and I can agree to the context, because me and my wife were talking about this some time ago. And in some cases, yeah, to know how that person moves, right? It's definitely it's a good thought to try and get to know their ins and outs, right? Are they a person that just grabs the laundry, throws it on the bed, it's just there, they grab and go? They don't have that aspect of organization. But I think that gleams to the question now, is just like, could we not figure that out by having a conversation? Like, I know some people will, we got coming to the stage. We got to come to the stage. Oh, whoops, I removed him. My bad. There he is.
You did that on purpose, man. I saw you.
No, I did, brother. Salute to you, man. How you doing, man?
Doing all right, man. If I go out, man, I'm on the phone, but I'll jump on the computer when I get in. But what was that question again you was asking everybody?
So I'm asking, is it necessary for people, is it a wise decision for people that are dating, so we're just boyfriend and girlfriend, to cohabitate together?
Yeah, I think it's mandatory. I think it's necessary, man, for y'all to cohabitate.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead. Like, go ahead.
yeah, because I think that's where you get to see. I forgot the gentleman's name that was just talking, but yeah, that's where you can see that person's flaws, their true ways. Because I think if you wait till you actually get married and y'all live with each other, man, you're not going to catch a lot of things that you would have caught throughout that process of living with each other. So it kind of forces y'all to start working with each other. You're going to actually see some of the things that you want to see in a boyfriend and girlfriend phase, until you start living with each other. Because you might like cleaning different ways. You might, like chilling on the weekends after you come from work. That person wants to rip and run. So yeah, it exposes you to a lot of those different elements.
Okay. All right. So I can agree, I can understand and agree to some basis for that context. Now, I will admit that my upbringing has jaded me from this. And when I say upbringing, I'm talking about the aspect of being raised in the church. Okay. That has kind of jaded me from making that decision. Now, when I peer outside of being in the church, being in God, being a Christian, right? When I take it outside of that context, I still don't think it's wise, because I have not seen a situation where, and again, this is maybe sometimes where anecdotal experience cannot bring us into a place where anecdotal experience is just not always good, because my anecdotal experience of this is I've just not seen it in the 15 years that it was presented to me, because I'm 40 now. So over 15 years, I've seen argument. Like, we coming home, we just tore up the basketball court. Man threw me an alley-oop. I dished him a nice dime as he was cutting. He damn cut through, got to that corner three. Like, I mean, we was chilling. We get home and we get to my boy's place, and he living with his girl, and I can sense hell is about to break loose. And we all know what a woman looks like when they're walking around the house and they're mad, but they're not really trying to set it off. And there's that one thing that just, nah, it's over. Like everybody got to get out, clear out, because me and this cat got to talk. Like, I've seen that happen too many times. I've seen, aside from what social media, whatever, triggered PTSD I never got over from chilling with my boys. I've seen too many Jordans get cut up like in real time, like bleach poured on clothes in real time. So when I look at these things, I'm okay. I'm also going to preface this to say, I think the maturation level of these individuals was low on the totem pole of what is normal, acceptable, and necessary to even live together. So my next question is, now that we've gotten through that, and Stan, I'm gonna start with you. Rush, we're gonna go to you next. Mr. B, then we'll come back to you, and then Jerk, we'll come to you. What level? Okay, so now we're saying, okay, there may be a reason for living together while we're dating. Again, my definition of dating is it's super frivolous. Like, we just talking. It's nothing but glue and sprinkles. So we're making a case that glue and sprinkles should live together long term because we need to figure out if we're going to get married. Okay. If that is the case, what level of maturation, intellectual capabilities does this person need to be able to have any one of you brothers agree to that? Yeah, Stan, you go.
There's a loophole to all of this, to where I'm going to get my cake, eat it too, and go home. And what that
Shout
is
out to
the
Stan.
road. It's the road trip and the hotel, or the stay in whatever, because I'm spending 72 hours with you. And I would say the important is always the road trip, because you see people's temperament and everything else, and can you work together as a team while you're traveling, directions and everything else. You get to learn, like, if she's clipping her toenails while you driving, that I can't do it. But like, you see everybody little icks and stuff like that, and it just builds on you. Like, okay, this is this person. It's 72 hours. I'm trapped, right? After that, do I miss her? Do I want more? And it goes on for there, right? So there's like, I was to answer your question about like growing up in the church. I found out the loophole. Like, we
Okay,
can't
well,
can't
we
move
gonna
in
come back.
together.
We gonna come back to that loophole. Vaughn, I see you. So hold on. Let me just greet everybody in the chat. Vaughn
Okay.
is in the chat. Vaughn Bryant, and just a shout out for everybody. Is gonna be an hour of prayer at 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you got a prayer request, be there. Throw it in the chat. This is not replacing the hour of prayer, so we want to make sure that we just set that tone. Definitely want to get that out. There's gonna be hour of prayer at 7 p.m. So shout out to A Team. Shout out to Vaughn Bryant, brother Brishit. Salute to you. Stan, you in the building. Salute. Who else is there? Anybody who's watching on Twitch, salute to you. Tiff for Tat, salute to you. My God, M3, you're not in the building. You might be in the chat, in the comments. Sweatbread, salute to you. Not sweetbread, sweatbread. Salute to you, brother. Salute, salute, salute. Chris, my brother. Christopher Henson, God, salute to you, brother. God bless you above all and in abundance. And I think we are caught up on everybody, if I'm not mistaken. Salute to everybody that's on the panel. These brothers are some wonderful brothers. Salute to you. Thank you all for being here to have this conversation. If you're not aware of the conversation, we are talking about, is it wise for people who are dating to cohabitate together? My stance is they should be remaining apart. Some of the brothers have already said, Mr. B has said, and Brother Jerk echoed it, that say we need to be able to see how we're going to operate on a daily basis. And I'm going to come back to that point. But as we go around, Stan said he found a loophole, and it was the 72-hour, the 48-hour vacation. We're going to take a road trip, go to a hotel, and we're going to see, if this person clips her nails, or if he clips his nails, while the person's driving and just dropping all over the car. You got some big, because some people got thick toenails and thick fingernails, and it hits like boomerang. So let's not pretend that that's not a thing either. You know what I mean? Or they don't have the cleanest foot bottom. I'm not gonna lie. The reason why my wife always asks me, why did I choose her? I chose her because this girl can wear sandals. I don't know what it is about her skin, but she can wear sandals, flip flops, and I never see that black rim on her feet. I thank God for that every day. I thank God for that every day. That's one
No
of the reasons
Flintstone,
why I married her. Huh?
no Flintstone feet.
Yeah, no Flintstone feet. Yeah, no Flintstone feet. Salute to everybody in the chat. M3 just came through. Salute M3. Much love to you. Yeah, no, I couldn't take that. And I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those brothers as I was, picking and and this is what really made me start praying to God. I was like, God, okay, I mean, if you can do anything but fail, I need you to rain one out for me, please. Because all I keep seeing is Flintstone feet, and I can't deal with it. I cannot deal with it. It's gonna hurt my head. Anyways,
Y'all
so
listen,
yeah, now we
push back on
go.
that. I like a chick with dirty feet. That means she got like two jobs.
You's a real homosexual. Get out of here,
That's a
bro.
sign of
You're supposed to be married, bro.
You like them with cracks, like them soles with cracks
calluses on the
and
feet.
calluses. I can't.
I can't, man. I can't. You're so wrong.
I
That
need.
is so gross.
Y'all need them feet
I know
soft. I
you
can't.
gotta be joking.
But
I don't even like cracks in my own feet, bro. Like,
but hey, but you know what? I give it to SJ. He's from New York. You know what I'm saying? They be wearing lugs and Timberlands. So
they get married in Tim's.
But I did real quick. Can I address what Stan was saying about the trip? Because
Yeah, go ahead.
I see what you're saying, but I think that could be a little dangerous because I think trips are fun, man. So I think like when you're going on vacation, man, you're getting a representative because it's a short period of time. So you can see some things like you said if they're clean and stuff, but I think most people are going to master flaws to a certain degree because, like I said, it's a short period of time. They're going to be super fun. So if that's going to be your metric, it could kind of make you naive to who they really are because people could lie in a short period of time. So going
the,
back
the loophole.
on,
Right? There was a reason. I got this advice from my uncles, and there was a reason. Here in California, they had to teach me certain things because one, we couldn't play these games or playing house because it could ruin your credit. And in California, if you that credit, you're not gonna get another house or apartment. And then two, what was going on here? People was just shacking up at the back door to get you into marriage and start a family. So it's like, yo, let's move in together. We can build, blah blah, and then you're pregnant, and now you gotta like, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, we already got 2 kids, and the family think we're gonna get married. We might as well get married because I'm already pregnant with number 3. You can't leave me like this. So there were a couple of things to like shacking up together. Wasn't about shacking up together and building a life. It was about, yo, we about to have a family either way if you think I'm the one or not. And then two, I'm gonna ruin your life if you don't give me what I want. So it was like entanglement all the way around. So the loophole of it was to like check out the trips because yeah, I believe you. Representatives can only last for probably a couple hours, but 72, you can't. And I'm also that type of person. I bring cleaning supplies when I go to a hotel. I don't trust that shit. I'm sorry, I don't mean like that. I don't trust hotels like that. So I got sprays, I got Comet, I got
All right, all right. Yo, Rush, what do you think about that? Should there be a certain level of intellectual maturation? So there's got to be some type of knowledge that qualifies this person to even be thought of in this category. What do you think? You muted, brother. Whoa. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said he was gonna drop down. Rush, what are you saying? You're muted. Can everybody hear me? Okay, there we go. What just happened?
My Wi-Fi.
Okay,
Can you
yeah,
hear me
you
now?
good now. You good? Yeah, you're good. You good.
Yo, my Wi-Fi tripping. Yeah, man. I think something trying to hinder us from talking about this stuff.
Yeah,
Yo,
right.
what you now? The question was,
So,
yeah,
the
yeah.
question was,
I
should
noticed
there
that.
be? Yeah, right. Should there be a certain level of intellect before we consider? I think that is okay. M3, M3,
What's up, everyone?
M3. Salute, brother. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. Fantastic, man. Salute to you, brothers out here, man. See y'all rocking on the internet. So, salute, salute.
Salute, salute, man. Rush. Yeah, go ahead. Should there be a certain level of intellect, a certain level of maturity before we even consider this of another person?
Well, let me just say this. I don't like if it's not a divine union from the Most High with Shorty. I don't advise y'all to move in with a chick, anyways. But for people that's with the carnal mindset, yes, there should be a level of a mutual understanding between both parties. But at the same time, you gotta vet that individual before you even like move in together. Know what I mean? Make sure you have a certain amount of authority within that crib. Because if she's the one that's paying all the bills, man, you best believe she's gonna disrespect you, man. Know what I mean? It's just not gonna be a good situation, man. So just just stay sucker free, man. And when you do link up with a chick, you decide to do that with, just be careful, man. Be mindful, man. These laws don't work in our favor. So if anything goes wrong, she lies to the authority, talking about you put hands on her. Them niggas is not asking questions. They lie. You getting booked. After you get booked, that's when they start asking questions. Know what I mean? So who want to get booked when you got bills on the line to pay off, man? You know what I mean? Think about that, man. You know what I mean? It's a cold world out here, man. Word is born.
Okay, that is fact because I've seen that. But again, with those individuals that I've seen, salute to red lipstick vibes. Uh, I'm not gonna say that because, uh, well, actually, no, I am gonna say something. I'll give you your flowers, Queen. Hands down, hands down. I love how she does what she does. Hands down, hands down. And if you got a union at home, then salute. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But thank you for being on this side of the space, being here today. Um, I hear you, Rush. I would say, I mean, I don't really disagree with anything that you said. I would probably want to add on to that. Mr. B, I'm coming to you next, and then M3, we get you, and then I'm gonna hit the next question. Jerk said he'd be back once he gets in the house. Um, my thing is this, right? Because let's say, okay, I mean, maybe this is actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave it because really and truly, what I'm getting ready to do is ask another question. Um, Mr. B, what do you think? Should there be a level of maturity that you see from somebody before you even entertain this mentally?
I mean, of course. I mean, I wouldn't dare go into a situation not having that at very least. Um, Now, how far that level would be, I think it varies person to person. For me, I think it's pretty quick. I don't plan on waiting more than a year. But I'm dealing with a person who's independent, who's showing signs that she's ready to start a family, has a career path for herself already, and understands economics, politics, um, and has some type of spiritual lifestyle. So, I mean, for me, it would be pretty simple what I'm looking for because love is built. Marriage is a contract. Marriage is something that you do to to create something else. So yeah, it would have to be those for me.
You're on mute, comrade.
Thank you. I get too comfortable doing that. My bad, sir. Sorry, guys. Um, one thing, I'm gonna come back. M3, I'm gonna come to you with the same question, but just real quick for
No
something that
problem.
Stan said, and something that Rush mentioned, right? The aspect of disagreements that turn toxic, actions that turn toxic, and then not taking anything for granted. The reason, with even considering all of those things, I mean, me, I've really strict guidelines when it comes to dating. So um when I say dating, and I kind of want to put a context to this because maybe this might shift where we're all at in considering the topic. When I say dating, I mean like we like 3 to 6 months into this, right? And the reason why I preface that time frame is because I've literally seen videos, and I really wish I could have found I could have found one in the memory bank that would have highlighted what I was thinking. But I've heard and seen videos, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, where they're like, "Oh, if after 6 months we're not trying to move in together, he's wasting my time." Red lipstick, slow down. We getting there. We getting there. We getting there. We getting there. That's why I focus on the word dating. We getting there. Um, yeah, and if it's 6 months and up, we should have already been having plans to move in together. And I'm kind of like, no. In 6 months, you don't even know, like, you don't even know if I really like you. I don't even know if I really like you. You don't even know if you really like me. Have I made you mad enough yet to the degree where you actually have to look at me and consider whether you want my stinking morning breath around you tomorrow morning? Let's like, so that's why I said I want to preface this, um, because it's just like, we, in this day and time, there are things that are painted out, thrown out, and sometimes some of our own podcasts and platforms, they're not really helping the situation because they're not bringing clarity for thought, right? I think Mr. B dropped out. He'll be back in a bit. But we're not giving clarity for thought, right? And so if we're trying to speak to young men and young women from the ages of 13 up, right, then I would even go as far to say, as much as everybody needs love, the person who's getting out the bin might not be the most appropriate person for you to choose to be loyal to, even though he's been loyal to you over the pen or over the virtual communication. I'm just saying. And the same thing goes for the fellas. I saw some pictures roll up the other day of some female inmates, and they bad, but like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if you want to bring somebody who's been institutionalized for over the course of like 3.5 years. Do you want to bring this person home? Do you
But
know if she's gonna
Conrad,
she's gonna be like, hold on. Do you know if she's gonna come to you? I'm gonna throw this to you. I'm gonna hit you with this one, Stan. You know if she's gonna give you that jail wine? You know what I mean? She's like, babe, I got this new drink for you to try. It's jail wine. It's toilet water. It's toilet water and potatoes that have been
but,
sitting there squished out in the back and fermented through toilet paper and a makeshift funnel that we took off the screen vent of the heater. Like, I really want people to think. I think I just heard somebody pop back in. Nope. All right, we'll
but
see what
Conrad,
happens.
they already invested into it though.
Invested what? How can you invest when you're behind four walls that you're not even allowed to invest in yourself? And get out my face, man. Not you literally, but like, you can't tell me that you've invested in me and you can't even invest into proper sunlight. How are you going to invest into me?
But you already
And
put,
how is he going to invest into her? Like this,
but you already put money
man.
in books and pay for the phone calls, and you spent years of celibacy to be loyal to somebody locked up.
Who spent the years of celibacy?
The people who's been doing this stuff.
All right, let me throw some Bible context at this. You know, if you masturbate, technically you're not celibate. Biblically, let's just throw this out there. So who's being celibate? We think being celibate is I'm not touching nobody else. Okay, is you touching you? Because if that's the case, you not celibate. You sell a hungry. You sell a thirsty. You don't come to me with that foolishness. Yo, M3, what are you saying, man? Is it wise for people that are just dating 3 to 6 months to start talking about is he trolling? Oh my goodness. I'm dead serious about my last comment though. If you are masturbating, you are not celibate. I just want to put that out there. Okay? If you are masturbating, if you're a female and you got a rose or you got that hammer with the little knob on top, or you got them rhinestones or that dragon thing, or the horse thing, or yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know, if you got like a makeshift swing in your house and it's you by yourself, you're not celibate. You're still giving yourself that same dopamine hit. It just doesn't hit as hard because it's not somebody else that is actually getting to there with the road or without the road map. So you're not celibate. Complete celibacy is you have to be devoid of all sexual stimulation and interaction, both by yourself and with. So I just want to put that out there. So a lot of people been lying. M3, what is your thoughts? Dating does he have a jailmate?
Yo,
M3,
you gonna
take the
start a
call.
lot of fights now. Conrad, you just open the door for a lot of fights.
Yeah, because you know how
Keep
many
on me
people be
with the
sitting.
rounds.
Yo, hold on. Can we let's talk about this for a quick second. Okay, maybe I'm the only one that's gonna talk the truth, okay? Before I got married, you know how many times they'd be like, oh, Brother Conrad, he's such a great guy because he's doing his best to just not be running the streets, and he's keeping it all under wraps. Keeping what under wraps? As you know how many times as soon as church service was done, and I'm sitting there, took that shower, ate my food, and now I'm sitting there, and this is before my wife. Now I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of like, ooh. And the nighttime is the right time to be with the one you love. Like I got
Conrad,
Kelissa
sir,
and I
you
got
are
Pamela.
starting this. Look, any fight
Yeah,
that happens in the next 30 minutes is your fault.
Yo, but it's true. How many people is sitting there talking about I'm celibate? I ain't never touched. I'm not having sex with nobody. You have sex with you. What are you talking about? You liar. Go
Conrad,
repent.
right now somebody
Yo,
might get chopped up.
it's true. Listen, literally, go to Leviticus. Go to Leviticus chapter 18. It goes beat by beat when it tells you who we shouldn't have sex with, what we shouldn't do, how we shouldn't look at our mothers and our fathers, and how mothers and fathers shouldn't look at their sons and daughters, and how stepmothers and stepfathers shouldn't look at their children. It goes right down to spilling the semen. It
I
goes
got
right down the
I got
line.
two questions for you,
Go,
Conrad.
go ahead, man.
My first one is like, yo, what's your thoughts about people remarrying? Like, do you consider the person
Bro,
that
bro,
is
bro, bro, bro. Time out, time out, time out, time out, time out. We gonna come back to that. We gonna come back to that. Don't go too far ahead. Because we actually doing a test collab right now. Okay, we testing the waters. I already done. Stan already done. Let me know. I probably done messed up the place because a lot of people who think that they were sitting there celibate come to find out they're not really celibate. Yes, thank you. They have the rabbit. Then hold on, Stan. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. They have the rabbit and the rose.
But it's not being faithful
To
because you're not.
who? To
But
who?
that's what they say. Like, I haven't seen anybody, only you. And so they stay loyal. That helps them stay loyal to their woman or boyfriend in prison.
How does it help you stay loyal when you have a picture in front of your face and you have a battery or digitally charged apparatus that can go for hours on end? Like, real talk, there's some people in this world, okay, that they have a whole machine that is one part of a man or one part of a woman talking about they're celibate. Get out of my face. You're not celibate. You're selling lies. You're selling lies. You are prophesying. You're not prophesying. You prophesying. Get out my nah, man. You no more celibate than the person who's on OnlyFans with one partner doing all the video shoots. Like, nah, bro, you're not celibate. Male or female, you're not celibate. M3, as I was saying, I'm so sorry, brother. Like, like I don't know how we got stuck on people masturbating and lying about being celibate, but maybe this will make some young men wise. Battery operated boyfriend. Yup. Y'all gonna keep me stuck right here. Good golly, Miss Molly. M3, what do you think about that? Is it wise for people that are dating between the time span of 3 to 6 months to entertain or enter into cohabitating? And does there have to be a level of maturity to be able to have this to happen?
All right. Well, first and foremost, like as a true person who is actually celibate, with an asterisk mark next to it, I will say that
Stad.
it's a combination of it all, right? You have to actually find a person, right, that you're most comfortable with. You got to have those mature type of conversations, right? Stan, look, I know, like, I'm on the phone right now. I can see you, like, look at me a little bit, that tiny screen of mine, but don't give me that death stare. I said asterisk mark, okay? So, but it does take a sense of maturity, right? Before even going to that step where you making that decision, like that lifetime decision to move in together. I mean, honestly, personally, for me, it depends, right? Because here's the thing. If you are practicing some type of religion and you're trying to follow through it, I wouldn't advise people to move in together until like you got to that level of understanding and maybe like get married first before moving in. But if you're not practicing, you know, a particular religion and it's like you think you found like that right type of person, all I'm going to say is that make sure that you at least are well established to hold things on your own, and particularly like for that person as well too, because I heard you guys like say like the dangers of like if you're moving in with someone and you don't really have like your things together. Yes, there is a particular high risk probability that you fall out with like your woman and the apartment is under her name. Yes, there's a high chance that you can get kicked out because you're allowing that person to have certain leverage over you. But then again, unfortunately, I've seen like bums, right, that still live under the roof like of another woman, and she has like full control, like the resources, the apartment, or whatever you want, or the house, whatever you want to call it. But because like she has a certain type of respect for that man for whatever reason, like he still is calling the shots. And I'm not saying like, I'm not encouraging anybody to be the ultimate homosexual that you can be. But if you do find someone, man, make sure that hey, you're doing right with your own lane and make sure that hey, like, that the person that you're with, like, hey, she's following your program as well. So if you guys are aligned together, and I think you guys also mentioned about the road trip situation as well, too. I mean, it's like a hit and miss. Again, if you're gonna go on a road trip with someone and it's gonna be like especially like a whole 24 72-hour period during that road trip, hey, make sure you find someone that you will actually enjoy going those trips with. Because you find somebody and she's like a nagger or whatever the case is, that's your fault. Because you choosing wrong doing these type of road trips. Don't find someone that's going to stress you out during these trips. Find someone that's actually going to give you some type of fulfillment throughout the duration of your trips, and make sure you find someone that's you're going to actually enjoy yourself with. So that's my intake to it.
See, but that
Okay,
road trip exposed it though. It exposed that she's a nagger. So next time,
now I know that I'm not gonna lie. I've been road trips. Road trips. I have to disagree. I got tricked out by a couple of road trips before. I ain't gonna lie about it.
You got
Yeah, I'm not
soda
gonna lie
green.
about it. Yeah. Sophisticated. I will ask you a question. Right, we were
All right.
kind of debating this while you were gone, and now that you're back, I want to throw this to you. Is somebody celibate if they're still having sex with themselves? So they're masturbating. But nobody else has touched their body. So if it's a female, nobody has entered her body. If it's a man, he has not entered anybody else's body, but they are masturbating. She's using apparatuses. He's using the fleshlight or Pamela or Ristina. You know, are they celibate or are they just lying?
I would say they're celibate in the sense of, they're not having a people interaction, but if you take it to the Bible like you did, then yeah, you're correct, based on
Bruh, bruh,
the Bible.
bruh. Can somebody, okay, without biblical context, okay? Celibacy, let's just say a raw definition is devoid of sex.
And yeah.
So yes, I'm not having sex with somebody else, but I am pleasuring me. I am having sex with me. Am I still celibate?
Yes.
Lies.
So I think the biggest issue is like, man, you're not going to catch trauma from your rose. You know what I'm saying?
You might just though, because that rose has been reported to give off certain waves that has actually killed the eggs of the woman. So that's technically not true. And let's be honest, if some guys will be honest, this is a safe place. The real is a safe place. Okay, so you're not going to see this clipped, at least not this part. If you decide to want to tell the truth, I'll make sure not to clip it.
Comrade, you forget one little thing though. Sorry, comrade, you forget one thing though, right? I mean, look,
yeah,
for the ones who I guess like quote unquote pleasuring themselves, you gotta understand that's an art and form of self love. So you gotta remember that part too. Isn't that what people on the internet be talking about? So
okay, so okay, let's
break this. I'm with M3 on that. Daniel's son didn't become a Karate Kid without practice.
Exactly. Sometimes you gotta hug yourself.
Everybody,
you know what I mean? If you don't hug yourself, nobody else will.
Yo, you guys are liars. Yo, no, okay.
You think Kobe? You think he didn't become the Black Mamba? He just showed up on the court. It was like, hey man, I'm the Black Mamba.
Yo,
hell nah. He had practice.
Chat. Do you hear these guys? This is genuine comments right now. Yo, we're really gonna relate shooting in the gym to shooting a shot on the top of the ceiling or the bed covers,
my best try,
or somebody's chest. Nah, bro. You sitting there getting a bootleg the dopamine hit from a rose or inanimate object, or because you got some Vaseline. You's having sex with yourself. It might be crappy sex, but you are having sex with yourself. That's my stance. That's just what it is. Okay, so where are we right now? Because we got about maybe like 20 minutes left.
Well, where are we right now? You just asked M3 because I do want to respond.
Okay, so M3, I gave him the first question within the context of 3 to 6 months. Is it wise specifically for men, but for men and women to entertain the idea or the actual process, the plan of moving in together, number one, and then number two, with this person that you're having these conversations with, how high should their maturity be, and what could you have possibly seen within 6 months that makes you comfortable? That's another question I didn't ask necessarily M3, but it's like, what could you have seen in 3 to 6 months that made you comfortable enough to say, okay, yeah, let's get in an apartment together. Let's get in a condo together. Let's also be honest. We as men, we all know ourselves, right? So it's like, okay, for some of us, an apartment won't do. For some of us, a condo's not big enough, right? We talking about like, okay, it might need to be a house. It might need to be a semi-detached. It might need to be a fully detached. It might be a townhouse. Whatever your like is in terms of abode, right? Yo, are we really going to say that there is grounds within 3 to 6 months to consider that? I don't know. What do you think about that, Jerk? 3 to 6 months, is that reasonable to start planning to move in with somebody?
I'm gonna say hell no. I think 3 to 6 months, y'all should be having discussions, deep discussions about like how you want to, divide finances, how you plan on spending holidays. How do you like if you're religious, what does that look like as far as like going to church? So you need to be talking about all this stuff. Like, one of my friends just kind of had a situation like this where they went to, I say the church, and they did like marriage counseling, and they gave them like homework assignments. I mean, they made them talk. It was like I'll say a 6-month period where they went into everything. Like I said, how you spend holidays, how y'all gonna raise the kids, interactions with like parents, if they're like overburdened or, overbearing. And he was just like, man, I never even thought about half this stuff. So I think like that 6 months, you need to be ripping each other apart to see if y'all even align with each other. Then maybe after a year, that's when you could start, after you have that, like I say, deep thoughts and you're mature enough to do it. Then you could, like, after that period, that's when you could be like, let's move in. And then to me, it's like after the move in period, that kind of aligns and stuff. And that's when you talk about marriage. That's how I would handle it.
Okay. I just want to post this comment, and I really think it's actually a very wholesome and healthy comment from Red Lipstick Vibes, because I just like the sentiment of it, right? Yeah. They got together, they knew where each other was at, they got married within 6 months, been together for 17 years. I like that. That's a very wholesome message, and I'll definitely make sure that we clip that part and get that out there, because it does set a precedent that there can be, time is not the biggest time is not the end factor, but it is a factor, but it's not the end factor. So I wanted to put that out there. I was going to
Conrad,
go
can I
to
ask you a question though?
Yeah, man.
Because and this is to everybody, y'all want to answer this. So who do you think kind of has more to lose if they say they get, like you were saying, if they moved in with each other quicker in a short
Men.
period of time? Who is it
Men.
like more riskier for?
Men. Okay, and I'll preface this in as quick as I can. The reason why I say men is because as much as both people are going to want each other sexually, ultimately the aspect of getting pregnant cannot happen without the without the man. So yeah, we just started living together 7, 9, 10 months into our relationship, but now she's pregnant. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't want to see you pregnant. I don't like, bruv. I'm not trying to see that. I'm not trying to find out you don't like me because now we got kid duties. I'm just saying that changes everybody's situation. So for me, that's number one. That's number one. Baby. Number two, yeah, I don't want to hear that. Number three, number two, yeah, I don't want to be in a situation where I wake up, and this is where the aspect of integrity versus cheating. I'm a breakup artist. Well, before my wife, I was a breakup artist. So like, bruv, she may not even have known what she did or what she said that triggered the breakup movements in me. But yeah, like, I'm a breakup artist. So I think you need to stay at your own place, because I know how volatile my breakup syndrome is. And it's swift too. Yeah, it's swift too. So yeah, I don't play that game. So it's not wise on that part, because you don't know how angry a woman can get until you go and talk to her today, and he's like, hey, I need to talk to you, and I have some thoughts, and we're just not working out. We're not growing together, and we're gonna have to end it. She's gonna have a whole bunch of questions, and after I've said that, I don't want to entertain no questions. I know this is unfair. We don't need closure. We can leave open, close, shut, whatever it is. We're breaking up. And what I've seen is there's not too many women that can handle that in a moment, especially when they're not the initiator of the breakup. Second of all, if I have crossed her line of what is
considered, you don't say nothing to them at all. You just ghost them.
Bro, that's even that. I mean, yeah. Well, I have different thoughts on when it comes to ghosting, but that's based on personal experience. And then the aspect, so we got children, not wise. Breakups, not wise. Then there's money. Okay, definitely not wise, right? Because depending on where I am, where was I when we decided to move in together? Was I making really great progress? And then we moved in, and I'm not really great at balancing my progression and my life progression. So now the energy and the mental focus that is necessary to get ahead is like maybe say 60% of that is going towards her, and she loves the attention, but she's also not trying to say, hey, you're paying too much attention to me. Even though we live together, I still need you to be about your business the way I found you about your business. Yeah, like is like what we've seen again just in general society is most men, they don't really do great in that moment, and things don't really turn out great when she wants to break up with you because now you're not producing and you're giving off beta male tendencies, or as they would say, bum mentality. And so like now, like I got to sit through and hear you explain that. Nah, we're just, it's not gonna work. So that it's a big risk on, and those are just 3 out of probably the 10 that I actually have. Finance, kids, um, interpretations of interaction with the opposite sex, even within the context. If you live in a condo or an apartment building, God have mercy on you. God have you hold the door open once. Now, thank you. No, get out, get out. Yeah. So that's my answer.
All right. Do y'all agree, Rush,
Bru-
Stan, and M3 that it's a little riskier for guys?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, a lot more riskier,
Oh yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like, and when things go left, you know, due to the laws and the authority, they will always be on the side on the female. You know what I mean? Anything she says, it goes. They take it for face value first. Like if she were to accuse you of something that you didn't do, like uh getting into a situation that's not consensual, then your ass getting booked, my nigga. You know what I mean? So it's not wise to uh move in with a chick like that. You know what I mean? Now if you a man of God or whatever, you got that divine union, you got the green light from the most high, yeah, word is born. Handle that. But if you a man that's carnal mindset, nah, stay sucker free. You know what I mean? Because it's just only a matter of time that, because if a female is really into you, man, you know what I mean? Like she puts in a lot of thought and effort into the relationship. But when it goes bad, that hate is just as strong. So just be mindful of that. Know what I mean?
M3, Stan, we coming to you. Hold on. M3, what you got?
No, I agree, man. You gotta be careful, man. Like any decision that you make, man. Um, it could be beneficial or it could be more like fatal. You know what I mean? Um, to like your livelihood. And honestly, man, like when it comes to like just the whole like shacking up and living together and all that, like I mean the choice is yours, but you just gotta be careful because anything that you're putting out there is always gonna be like, like as a high risk.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like man, if you ain't really got your stuff together as a real man, you feel me? So
Facts.
by all means, man, like whatever you could do, and especially man, like if this is the person that you don't really see a future with, and then you having kids by her, oh man, good luck, man, with 18 years of your life. That's all I gotta say.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Yo, Stan, what you got?
Hey, I know the women gonna be mad at us. They're gonna like, well, we don't want your little money, but like, yeah, you'll take that little money because guess what? There's something called palimony. You don't need to be even married. It's like, yo,
What
if
is
the
palimony? Jesus Lord have
you know about
mercy. Can
palimony,
we what is
okay,
palimony?
so palimony, it's so if I broke up with my girlfriend, right? The
Hold on, hold
judge,
on, hold on, hold on. People getting money for dating and talking now?
yeah, yeah,
This is the
it's
this is the
palimony,
best this is the best Cat Williams voice I can muster up. We palimony.
yeah, yeah.
You
So you,
mean to tell me
mm-hmm,
that man's just having to pay money for dating, for
yeah,
girlfriend and boyfriend titles,
yes.
and y'all want to move in with people? No, we
I think
done.
Stan just
We
made this
done.
shit up. I
No,
ain't
look,
We
never heard.
No,
look it up.
it exists.
It exists.
Especially
It's
if
for
you're with
real.
a woman that has kids too.
my
Yeah,
head hurts. My
yeah.
head
Look it
hurts.
up. Look it up. Look it up. SJ palimony. It's a real thing. California, we
Oh,
have palimony because we don't have alimony. We don't have what's that thing called? Like if you do the other stuff we have in the South, when people shack up, it becomes a some
common
kind
law.
of common law
Common law
marriage.
marriage.
We don't have common law marriage in California, except for you have kids, then you have to get divorced and do all the other stuff
Oh
because of the
my
children.
gosh.
But they do have something called palimony, where you do have to pay up. It could go from 3 months to 3 years.
This is real.
Oh,
Like I'm looking it up right
okay.
now. Like
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it's that's
Right,
what.
Jesus. And everybody, some people have been asking me, not you all, but some people have been blowing up my phone and wondering why we have prayer at 7 o'clock on
Yeah, I
Saturdays.
might need to
It's for
come
stuff
now.
like this
Yeah.
because I can't. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My spirit is troubled
Hey, can I read
because
the
now,
definition real quick?
yeah, go ahead,
For the
man. Go
palimony,
ahead.
so it says palimony, a court-ordered allowance paid by one member of a couple formerly living together out of wedlock to the other. Man, this is
So it
So
could be.
aside from, so now we got Ohio saying, hey guys, if you get that PNC, right, and she gets pregnant from your PNC, it could be $1,000 to a $10,000 fine just for that alone. For you basically having PNC with no intention to be a father. So we got Ohio in the States doing that. Canada
Texas.
already shifted away from Canada's laws used to be 7 years before you can even be considered common law. They cut that down to a year,
You
right?
know,
So
in the
like,
state of Florida,
uh,
it's like 24 hours. You got squatter rights. Like
what?
within,
Nah,
yeah,
bro.
you
Nah,
you can
you see,
email.
I,
She can go ahead, like your girlfriend, go ahead and get a credit card in your name, and she's the missus. Like common law marriages look like marriage. Like if you die, she's entitled to, you know, survivor benefits.
okay. I got, you know what I got for that? I got some God for that. If there is any brother that is in the hearing of my voice right now, you outside of the chat, you probably watching, you might have this in your earphones because you're around your mama or the girlfriend that you're planning to leave. You are going to need prayer. You are going to need the hand of God to move in for you right now. You need to be on this channel at 7 o'clock. That is a solid hour and 15 minutes from now. We are going to pray. We're going to put your life and these dumb decisions. Okay. So it's amazing how, I just kind of want to throw this up because another 10 minutes and then I'm going to go spend time with the family before prayer. So let's go back to the beginning of this live stream. Is it wise for people that are dating to live together? It is wise, or it is a decision that can be considered because you never know all you need to know about somebody without seeing their everyday movements, and that is factual. We have some comments in the chat. I believe Vaughn Bryant had said that him and his wife lived together for 2 years before they got married, and now they've been together for 23 years. I would say that that is an outlier because they are intentional. Red Lipstick Vibes had posted that her family, she has family that had gotten together and got married within 6 months, and they've been together for 17 years. I would consider them an outlier. The reason why I say that these situations are outliers because I do not believe that the general person, the general man right now, and the general female have what it takes mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, or financially to make that situation happen. Now, guaranteed, let's just say that for those two examples that were in the chat, they weren't on the best financial terms. There was still something about them intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and physically that made it work and made it work through situations that others in this modern time would say, girl, you ain't got to do all that. You doing too much. Girl, you ain't got to do all that. You doing too much. Or brother, just run. Well, I'm just going to tell both people based on this whole palimony thing, because when I was in my 20s, even when I was in my teens, it wasn't even a thought about common law. You didn't get nothing for common law. There had to be kids involved for common law to actually, well, Canada, not the United States, Canada. For Canada, you had to have a kid involved. If it was just mere fact and I wasn't claiming you on taxes or you want on, we didn't file our taxes as common law at all, you don't get nothing. The government looks at you as, okay, you guys were dating. What does that got to do with us? You couldn't take that to court. And then they changed it where after 7 years, you're now common law and you have to file your taxes together. You have to have the same address. And then even push it more with a kid. Yeah, we counted it up here as full alimony. So common law is the same as marriage up here in Canada. It carries the same weight. But now there's this whole, and I haven't even looked into Canadian relationship laws like that, where like we got this whole palimony thing. So now let's say that the majority of people in the chat and that are going to view this are between the ages of 13 to 19, and it's a young brother. Are we telling him to have these conversations with these individuals and these women that he's going to encounter? Because I can say no. And vice versa. I'm not telling none of the young sisters that they should be submissive enough to go live with a boy, because what if she really hits it big and her whatever she's planting and building, and she does something at the age of 17 and they've been together for 3 years now, and the government sees them as common law, and now she hits it big, she gets ahead of college and university at the age of 17, gets into the Fortune 500 company, becomes the youngest female CEO in the history of mankind, and she's got a paycheck bigger than Bill Gates, and now all of a sudden he's like, all right, I'm out. Palimony. Like, you think I'm going to tell my daughter to go and do that? No, I can't say that on YouTube. I will definitely have to intercede both by prayer and physically being there before that can happen to my family. What do you like? From Rush, Stan, Jerk, M3, go.
Now that we're expounding on the palimony, I didn't even know that was a real thing. You learn something new every day. It's just more important for a parent to have the incentive to school their kids to be sucker free, because now these shorties now, like these young men that's coming up, they got to worry about all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if they do have a chick living with them or whatever, like, after a year later, that's considered a common law marriage. That's insane to me. And if you don't know what that is, if you're a shorty watching this, that means if you caked out, you got mad money in the bank, you got like, a lot of assets, like a 401k and AIG, you're dealing with I don't know, private equity firms and all that. That broad within that 1 year living with you, she will have access to half or even more than that. You know what I mean? So it's very important for, I guess, y'all parents to school y'all kids to stay sucker free, because it's a dirty game for them right now, man. You know what I mean? That's what I got to say, man. That's my personal opinion on that, man. Nah, I don't think people should be cohabitating, you know what I mean, like that, because there's a lot of snares that come with it now, man. You know what I mean? If your girl not a woman of God, like a true woman of God, you know what I mean? Don't, you know what I mean? When I say true woman of God, like she's a virgin, she at church doing her thing, whatever, and she fast and pray like every other month. Like, she on it like that. If she ain't doing that, man, and she got an Instagram page showing them goods, you know what I mean? Like, nah, you not supposed to, nah. You don't move her in the crib, man, so stay sucker free.
Damn. What is there, like one virgin on the planet?
What are those?
Hey, man,
and catch the joke.
There's only
Catch
one
the joke.
virgin in the planet. Don't be scared to be alone, man.
Hey,
Stay
and catch the joke. That one virgin that's on the planet is a man.
Not really. If he's pleasing himself, right?
Yeah, he done lost it a long time ago. Yo, Stan, go ahead.
I'm a self-love advocate, man. I'm telling you, self-love saves lives.
I mean, it saves lives and it saves birth certificates, but good golly, you still a liar. You ain't celibate.
No, it actually don't. They just
hold on. hold on, man. I was coming for closing thoughts and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah,
You
yeah,
did
yeah. Stay
started the whole.
still. We can circle back to that.
Hold on. No, what, Stan? What were you gonna say, man?
Oh, they just need your washcloth and get that DNA and make a
Oh
baby.
man, closing thoughts, Stan.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts.
See,
Closing
Conrad, you
thoughts.
gotta.
I'm sorry, Jerk. You were right.
I was
I
trying to
should have
save
barred
you.
him for that one. You did. Stan, what you got? Like, now that we've explored some of these nuances, we talked about the kids, we talked about the finance, we talked about morning breath, but this palimony. Yo, you know what? You know why I'm so triggered? I gotta come back. I gotta can back up. I'm sorry. You know why I'm so triggered by palimony? Because the first three letters, pal. Hey, what's up, pal? How you doing, pal? You don't gotta talk to me. You don't gotta interact with me sexually. You don't gotta give me a back rub. You don't gotta give me a hug. You don't gotta say good morning. Just because we cohabitating, and at one point we had an asphyxiation towards each other, and we said yes, let's cohabitate, and you turned into a whole pal along the way, and you get friendamony. Well, there should be pedestrian amony too. Like, what is this? Yo, you know how many people that we done mentally hooked up with just passing them on the street? We might as well get that pedestrian too. Like, what? Like, oh my
There
gosh,
is,
I'm so hurt.
Conrad. Uh, there are cases where women, if you're doing mentorships, they're putting you on child support. And yeah,
Oh, that I heard of. Like
yeah,
if
Why?
she has a paper trail of you like spending money on that kid, she could put you on the hook for that. So yo,
Vaughn, you see why
don't
there's
even
prayer
play
at 7
cleanup,
p.m.
my
on
nigga.
Saturdays?
This is dangerous out there.
You see why there's
yeah.
prayer at Saturday nights on the real at 7? This is exactly why. What are you guys saying right now?
Not your child,
I'm gonna
not
address all this
romantically
in my
involved,
closeout. I'm
not
gonna give y'all
romantically.
the secret to life. But go ahead,
Okay,
Stan.
well,
Sorry.
go ahead, man. It's your
I
turn
know
now,
SJ
brother.
is like
Go ahead.
that's SJ.
All right.
But just the whole thing of like you're just helping out, and because you're helping out, you're a source of income, and she could put it in the a court order, saying because you've done A, B, C, and D, and it's been 3 years, she needs some help, and
Mm.
there's cases on it. So that's why you just have to be careful all around because everybody, you hear this stuff like I don't need no man, but it seems like the man is still playing to get paid. This is my closing remarks, right? That's one
All right.
of the
Well,
closing remarks.
thank you for ruining. Nah, I'm sorry. You Cap. You just ruined my whole equilibrium with this whole mentor malimony. Jerk. We going to you. I'm hurt. I'm hurt.
Well, I just only got one thing.
Go
Just one
ahead,
thing.
brother. Go ahead, man. I'm so
Like,
hurt.
look, you just gotta be careful because
I was in a fantasy land, and Stan came up here and then threw a whole. I can't even, man. Bring back the
hey,
'90s so I can say what I want to say.
Rush always says stay sucker free, and I just brought in the points. So that's all I did. I just brought in the points. SJ pull up the
Oh
research,
my
and 3 back it
gosh.
up. That's all I gotta say. And then you're gonna pray for us as a nation. But look, I remember one time we had a show with I forgot that guy, but it was with Sir. With Sir, I forgot his name. Sir Speaks. And it was like, yo, if we're not getting married, the courts have to come up a way to make its money. And you looking at like how common law marriages are becoming more common and they like reducing the time. Like you just
Yep.
spend 24 hours, that's it. Now they're gonna try to get their money from you. I remember one woman told me like she's like, yo, like if you go ahead and women are good at relaying information, you stage a fight, you scared of your life, you kick him out, even though that his name is on the lease, you can make him pay up to 3 years and do a restraining order. And at the same time, because you can't go to work and you're scared for your life, he has to pay some form of alimony so you could go ahead and survive. And so, like, women stay up on information and how to get money out of men and how to pay. Even like now, like, they coming after their parents. They know, like, hey, I have a disability. You let me in your house. Now you kick me out, and now you need to sit down and pay for my lifestyle because I don't know how to defend for myself, and I'm a dependent. And so, like, yo, you when you see caseloads of what's going on in cases, yo, you're still a plan. You still playing. They say they don't need no man, but you still the plan. They want your money. They want your money. That's all I got to say.
Stan. I mean, yeah, sophisticated jerk. I'm discombobulated right now. Sophisticated, go.
Yeah, this is these are all great topics because a lot of this stuff, man, you would think like it's fake, but it's like, man, when you start looking it up, man, like when I was like searching for it, there's actual like law cases. So I was like looking at one, I'm like, damn, somebody actually filed this and they won. So Stan is correct. As crazy as it sounds, it's true. But this is why I always tell people, man, and I got a lot of pushback for putting out this philosophy, but a lot of people are starting to hit me up and be like, I understand. That's why I push the 50-50. And that's why I say don't mess with broke chicks. Because, if a chick got money and she got the right mindset, she's with you for desire and all that. She's actually attracted to you. She's typically, or she's a God-fearing woman.
Yeah.
She ain't going to go down a lot of these paths and stuff because she's not with you out of necessity and using you for the money. So that's why, like, guys, you just got to. Yeah. So guys, man, you gotta just the fairy tale stuff just don't work. So unless somebody has that type of mindset, you don't cohabitate. You don't even attach yourself to that type of female. And that's where I think Rush was saying it. It's like, man, you got to be cool with being alone. I think the Bible breaks it down with what in Proverbs when they talk about the virtuous woman. It's just like if a female don't exhibit those traits, you're not supposed to mess with that. And so. And you're also supposed to operate a certain way too as a man. So I think, man, we gotta I love these conversations, Conrad, because it's just like, hey, man, you're not supposed to be with everybody, and that's the issue. People are just infatuated with somebody, and they want to pull that person in their life, and then they trying to rush the process, and that's where all this high divorce rates come out of. So nah, man, you get somebody with that right mindset, and you vet them out. You ask all them tough questions. Everything needs to be laid on the table and transparent, and you make an assessment. But I do think at a certain point, if that person exhibits some traits, I do think you need to cohabitate. And the reason why for men, I asked y'all that question. I was like, who is it riskier for? It's for men. So it's just like that cohabitation. I would rather you have that breakup and that hardship in that cohabitation phase versus when you're married. So that's why I think like if you see them signs in that person, you should do the cohabitation because it would be less impactful to have that breakup during that phase. But yeah, stop messing with these broke chicks, y'all. They're dangerous.
Oh gosh.
Yo, I want to chime in with what my bad. Go ahead.
We're gonna go M3. Rush, I'm gonna come back to you on, and then I'll give the closing arguments, and then we'll close off, and then go from there.
Okay. Shit, I was gonna say the same thing what Sophisticated Drake was saying. These are the consequences when you are dealing with these broke type of women. I know, like, it's good to have your own money. But I know people will say like you need to make more money than she does, which I'm like, it's kind of cliche because the thing is like, yeah, you could have the most, but then you could also get clean out the most. If you only make the wrong decision, live, you don't even have to grind on her. Like if you live with the wrong type of woman that is just shiesty enough to clean you out and try to take you to the system, just because like you stayed with her,
right?
Or y'all stayed together for like 24 hours, so you got an apartment with your names together. Then I mean, like you're officially screwed. Which means that for me now, I got to do a to-do list and make sure I get my socks back from this Latino woman, right? But the point is that you gotta make sure, man, like you protect yourself at all costs, man, because you're dealing with women that has like that type of poor set mindset. Again, that poor set mindset is really gonna like get you at the end. And yeah, man, it's not worth, man, dealing like with these type of women, right? That has like that type of mentality. Same thing, like if you're a woman and you're a go-getter and you're like highly successful, but you're dealing with all these broke dudes that ain't got nothing going on, you can't be mad like why you getting cleaned out, like if they have the opportunity to take advantage of you. So you got to be careful of anything that you do. And I mean, honestly, like, I mean, if you find like that God-fearing woman somewhere that's like a diamond in the rough, hey, I mean, that I'm gonna say it's like, look, maybe you probably might want to consider like, sticking with somebody like that, like in a long-term type of relationship, or maybe even marriage. But again, don't just be like just shacking up with just anyone that doesn't really have that type of potential and that type of mindset. So that's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. All right, Rush, tap in, because it's funny how last night's conversation comes full back circle, but I'm a push that to close this out. But Rush, what you got?
Yeah, I wanted to chime in from what Mr. Sophisticated Jerk was saying. Like, yo, that's cool and everything to do a test run, and I understand where you're coming from with that. Living with somebody, and that's the best way to know who you're dealing with. But that was cool, back then when we was coming up, because both parties had a level of um, sensibility and a little bit of honor amongst each other. So, they're not going to go out the way to screw you over. But in this day and age now, that is not a wise thing to do, man. Like, you heard what, man, I just learned about palimony, man. I didn't even know it was a real thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
We heard over here. I'm married and I'm still shocked. Like, oh God, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
There's so many snares out there for the generation that's under us, man. You know what I mean? And man, hey, stay sucker free, man. You know what I mean? Protect your assets, man. Both male and female, because you got the homosexuals trying to run up on a chick that's
whoa, what are you doing? Let's slow down with the homosexual slander. I was a homosexual from 2001 to 2004.
Stop this.
Calm it down.
I knew this was good. Hey, I mean, I can't leave Sophisticated to stand up for the homosexuals. I was once a homosexual, so we got to hold it down. We're not all bad. We got potential. You gotta just house us for a little bit. I love
Rush like a brother, but he got to calm down with that homosexual slander. Rephrase that, sir.
Yo, man, just be careful out here, man. It's really wicked out here, man. It's a cold world, man. You know what I mean? Figure out whether the person you're dealing with is using you, you know what I mean, or not. You know what I mean? And people are good actors, man. So be careful who you telling yourself with, man. You know what I mean? And that's
Facts.
Just what I wanted to chime in on Sophisticated Jerk. You know what I mean?
Facts. Well, I'm glad we could have this conversation, and to close it off here, and those who are around available, when it's not necessarily going to be a panel situation, but in exactly 55 minutes from now, we're going to be having prayer. If you got a prayer request, you can DM it to me on Instagram, areReal_SCE, or you can just show up and be in the chat and post your comments in the chat, post your requests in the chat. Depending on the sensitivity of it, I will not post it. I don't usually read it as we pray. It's a solemn time where we as brothers and sisters can get together, and the family that prays together stays together. And so we do this to not just enrich each other just as brothers because we happen to know each other, but there's a greater sense of the spiritual weight that I feel has been put on my shoulders to have these times where we as Black people, Black men and Black women, can come together without the burden of having to be in attendance for church. It's just a time to come in for prayer. You got a request, cool. You just want to soak in some prayer and just be under that blanket, be under that covering of prayer, cool. You don't got to do nothing. You don't got to say nothing. You don't got to give nothing. Just be, if you're there, you turn it on in your background as you're moving around your house doing what you do, and just let those prayers cover you. It's at 7 p.m. But last night we were kind of finishing up the conversation, and as we were going through, and ladies, we don't want you to think that we're grouping all of you together, but this conversation should point you to self-reflection and introspection. The type of woman we are talking about, if you think about it and you start to try to build characteristics to it, that type of woman that would game plan on a man for a certain amount of time to be able to leech his funds, whether that was the initial go-to or not. But as I said, there's also information that is given to that type of woman. That type of woman has been known even in the Bible to have a frame. And as we were speaking about last night, that is Queen Jezebel, who was the wife of King Ahab. And I find it funny, as I said last night, that the righteous men of God that were living, keeping the standard, they weren't bothering anybody. All they did was say that Baal is not a prophet and he's just a figment of your imagination. And this was enough to make Queen Jezebel mad, so much so that she threatened the king. Now, I want you to guys pay attention to this. This woman who is the queen, she doesn't have more authority than the king in his kingdom, but she had a ferocity in her approach to him that he cowered under the thought of telling her no. This is scripture. Find the story, go read it for yourself. So that way, you know, I'm not just telling you something that's not there. It doesn't matter short of maybe the New Living Translation, because they've actually taken words away from the scriptures. But outside of that, get into the scripture for yourself, read it for yourself, so you know and do a history search on Queen Jezebel. So now, fast forward to modern times, when we as men are saying that this woman that is not praying for you, Prayying, but you are pray to her, Prey. This is the spirit that we're talking about. The Bible describes it in two ways. Jezebel as Queen Jezebel, and the succubus that uses the allure of her hips, tips, fingertips, fingernails, and everything else that she can glue on to get you into a subservient position to take advantage of you, whether it's short term or long term. And so, as such, we have to be aware of these devices and these kind of actions and notions. And men, we do encourage you that it might hurt. And as M3 said, it may hurt, but if you got to go through the pain of breakup, go through it now. Don't wait till later. There's no problem with solitude. And if you do have a problem with solitude, it actually means you might not value your own self as much as you should as a man. Likewise to the women, if you say that you're being celibate, be celibate without any electronic devices. Be celibate without any battery operated devices. Be celibate without the interaction of your hand. Don't even think about it. True celibacy is not devoid of a physical partner. It's devoid of any tangible or intangible sexual representation that provides dopamine stimulation. We're just going to leave it there. I thank you, brothers, for joining us. Another conversation. We know Mr. B had different things that he had to do. Thank you all for being here. I got something special for y'all next week. So y'all let me know your availability. If I record it and I got to repost it, or we do the live stream, whatever it is, I'm going to hit you guys up in the DMs. To let you know what that is. I thank you all for being here. Me, Rush, and Mr. B, we're going to have this conversation again. There has to be a part 2, but I know he had some other things that were pressing around his schedule today. So we're going to get back to it, see if based on where we left off today, how hard his trigger meter is going to go. So we'll go from there. Much love, peace, and blessings to everybody that's in the chat, on the panel. Sophisticated Chirk, Rush, M3, Stan the Man, Mr. B. Salute to all of you, everybody in the chat, wherever you are. If you can be around in the next 45 minutes, show up in the chat for prayer. We love you, support you. Peace and blessings to you all. We out.
Practice self-love.